Hello and welcome to the orchid room. I don't know what day of the week it is for you when I'm filming this portion right here of the video. It is a lovely Saturday afternoon and we got our first fall rain. It is glorious, it's gloomy and rainy and I love it. Except for the pressure change in my head. Yeah, had to take some muscle relaxers for those nerves and compression of the discs in the neck. But hey, I'm standing upright and I'm still above the dirt, so I'm gonna go with it. Welcome to a new day. I hope yours is going well. I have a few things to share with you today, but on top of it being a rainy day, it's humid and I am hot. But I did want to share with you a couple of my dendrobiums that are losing their leaves. They're turning yellow, fall is coming. But the crazy thing is I have another one that just started her spike. Yes, it is September. What is it, September 17th, maybe, something like that? And she just started growing a spike. Yeah, in this here orchid room where you control the climate and the light and the humidity and all that jazz, I just don't know when to expect blooms. Those that should have bloomed earlier in the year just take a whole lot longer, or they just do their own thing on their own pace of time. So let me show you the dendrobium who has a spike. Finally, it's a respike. And for me, that's a new thing because I'm rather young at growing orchids. So she bloomed lovely from the vendor last year, and now I'm going to show you her this year. That lovely lady in the back is a Pink Sonia. Let me take you in closer. And she has plumped up that middle cane so nice and thick this year. And way up top, you see that? Way up there, she decided to start growing her spike. And if I remember correctly, they grow long, like almost 12 inches or more before a flower shows up. So I'm hoping it doesn't hit the ceiling up there. You know what I'm saying? I'll have to keep kind of spinning her so she'll eventually grow it out towards the camera. That new shoot on the left is all filled up with happy sap, and she just likes her position right underneath the Mars Hydrolite. I'm not going to argue with her and let her stay where she is. Here's a little close-up of Miss Pink Sonia with her new spike coming through. Let's see if that helps you to see it better. Now across the way from the last Pink Sonia I showed you is her companion on the top shelf. Let me bring you down. I have two Pink Sonias because one I bought for my mom and one I bought for myself. And when it was done flowering, Mom brings them back to me. So let me bring her down. We'll look at her. So Pink Sonia number 2 has a lot of new growth. This is new. It grew this year. There's happy sap all over her little undersides. She's definitely not as big as the other one, but this cane has fattened up significantly this year. So I'm very, very happy for that. She has roots going down in the pot. There's a couple of new ones, but mostly some of the older ones. And she's got them coming out the bottom. So I'm just going to keep plugging along, feeding her and loving her and seeing what she wants to do. I have a feeling she won't bloom for me like the other one. It's funny, I bought them from the same vendor, but they came 2 different sizes. But she is holding her own, and I am thankful for that. Pink Sonia is a very beautiful, beautiful orchid. I'll find a picture from last year when she bloomed and put it up on the screen here. And I don't remember if she had a smell. Probably not, because I usually don't buy strong scented or really smelling orchids because of my migraines. But I'll give her a drink today and she will continue doing her thing up on the top shelf. These 2 dendrobiums are right next to my humidifier, and they love the high humidity. In fact, the first one that you see closest to the humidifier is in a glass container inside of another glass container that has water to up the humidity around her. And I did that about a month ago to see if we could get some more life out of her. Her leaves were looking dry, they weren't looking shiny, and she just, you know, kind of looked sad. So I upped that. Let me take you in closer. And she is in a bark mix. She likes in the hot summer to be watered daily, but now that it started cooling down in the fall, it's about every 3 days that I give her a splash of water over the top, let it drain, and I put her back in here. But she has kind of brightened up. These leaves, these new ones here, are all shiny and pretty, and I think she just really enjoys that. You see underneath she has some happy sap droplets. Let's see if you can see my finger. Nope, you're below the camera. Let me lower the camera. Here we go. She has happy sap underneath her leaves, and the first time I saw that I panicked, thought they were bug eggs. But nope, they are happy sap. She loves humidity, loves the light here. She probably would like a little bit higher light, but for right now, I don't have a second Mars Hydro light. That might be an investment for me later in the coming months. But here, I'll spin her for you. I haven't seen her bloom, but when she does, they'll be puffy white, puffy pink bulbs, and I'll be excited to see that. The second one sitting next to her is Dendrobium topazicum. Let me bring her closer. Her name is a Dendrobium topazicum bullianum. She's a species from the Philippines and the Vietnam area. When did I get her? What does that say? She had bugs when she arrived. I think that's what that says. Yep. And I remember we cleaned her all up and we rescued her. And I think the vendor even took care of the cost. When she arrived, she had bugs under the leaves, the mealy bugs. But she has grown beautifully. I'm very happy. This cane has been progressing on. The one at the top, she's still producing, it looks like. Her leaves. This might officially be her terminal leaf, so she might be done producing these shiny, beautiful leaves for this year on this cane. Let's turn her. This cane is also been growing stronger and taller this year since I've had her. And I'll look forward to seeing blooms on her. She has a new growth down here. And I have her in leca. I'm always trying between bark mixture and leca to see what would work. And sometimes when the plant arrives to me, what I have available. If I'm out of bark, then she gets leca. Let's look at her roots on the inside. So she has the wicking sticks, excuse me, I call them sticks, wicking strings that go down into the pot. And you see that lovely root attached here? Yeah, she's pretty attached. She's wrapped around that, so I will leave it be. But she has that root coming down. She has them on the side. She's got them going on. She is happy in her leca setup. And I water over the top for her weekly, once a week. And today I'm going to add a little bit of fresh water to the bottom. But she loves being next to that humidifier. This sad looking little spiky empty cane orchid is called a Dendrobium auriculatum, crossed with itself or its sibling similar to it. And I have had her since March of last year, and I got her from Orchids by Hauserman. And I have not had success with their plants. Multiple plants I have not had success with. But I've been trying all year long. Remember last year I didn't give them a proper winter drying out period, so that may be why she didn't flower for me this year. But all this spring and summer, and now it's fall, this is all that has been produced. Can you see that? Let me get it closer to the light. Yep, that is all we have seen for production. And boy, it's a little sparse. And we still have some green hanging on the top of this cane. But yeah, I think come spring, I'm going to label this one that she needs a new setup. Bark is not her thing. I don't think it's working. On my notes on the back of my tag, it said that I tried to do a water culture with her for 3 or 4 months, and she didn't like that either. So she might be a mounted girl that likes to be mounted, doused in water, and dried off in the same day. We will check that out again in the spring. And I am pleased to say that my contributions to McDonald's Coca-Cola Ices have rescued this orchid. I have found that this sweet little piece, this is a Miltoniopsis breathless beauty, and she is the only part remaining from a plant I got from Brookside Orchids, and they sent me a gorgeous plant. I was just very naive in how to take care of Miltoniopsis, and I probably drowned her. That's what I do with most of my orchids when I'm uncertain what to do. Give them another drink. Now, don't do that. So she has been in here, and I'm going to try to get her out without unpotting her. But I wanted to show you, I missed inside that little dome, and there is a little growth. Do y'all see that little bit? Little bit. I'm going to call this one Little Bit. She is so tiny, but I am encouraging her to keep on doing her thing. I keep her in this McDonald's clear container so I can see it. I spray it with my spray bottle around the edges, and a little bit on the actual bark in case she needs it. I keep her domed up, and she's over here on the side by the humidifier soaking it all up. So if you go to McDonald's or anywhere else that has like these domed icy lids, there's a suggestion. Yeah, it's fun here in the little microclimate with the humidity and watching the little orchids grow. It has been a treat and a delight to have this chance to have a spare room, to have orchids that I can acquire every once in a while. I don't get to go out and buy as many orchids as I would dream of because, you know, my budget might be different than your budget, and your budget's different than someone else's budget. But also, there are a lot of orchids out there that have strong fragrance, and I just can't do that with my migraines. And I'm kind of walking the tiptoe line with my Miltoniopsis because they are a strong rose scent. And I purchased one just the other day from the grocery store because it was there and I had to. Not the one I purchased last month, but a new one that I purchased a couple days ago. Let me go get her. So this beauty was at my Safeway grocery store, and she has the white, I mean, she was just popping open the day I got her, and this might be her first blooming, and all of her little lips are kind of cupped up. But she is a very strong scented rose smell, and she still has buds to open, and she's downstairs where it's cooler. Now once the heater and the fireplace start, I will have to move her up to a cooler location in the house because she wouldn't prefer the higher heat. And the thought I was going with was that I can't always bring in a lot of strong fragrant orchids, so it kind of limits my choice. And because migraines aren't worth it, as beautiful as they are, but you can always move them around to a different location. She was sitting right behind my chair where I sit when I'm relaxing, having coffee, watching my YouTube videos of all my friends out there. And last night I thought, Okay, this is not practical. She's right behind me. I can't see her. I can smell her, but I can't see her. So I moved it across the room, and boy, that was a nice revelation. Sometimes I'm a little slow at catching a clue. But enjoy her. I don't have a name for her. I just call her my no ID. But if you know that feature, she's mostly white, which resembles the one I got from Yoshi that had two different colors. It had a purple bloom and then also a white bloom. And then when we opened it up, we realized there were two different flowers of orchids in the same pot. So the darker one I knew the name of, but the lighter one I don't know the name of. The lighter one, the flower bloom dropped off a couple of days ago. So now I am just waiting for the whole spike to be absorbed for the plant to take out the minerals that it likes and the nutrients that are stored up in there. I will water the rest of my plants today, and I just was stopping by to tell you hello and to show you a little bit about what might be happening in my orchid grow room. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I wish you well. I wish you peace. Comment below and let me know how things are going in your plant world. Until we talk again, bye-bye.